And we are live. Captain, if you and give us a log.
Captain's log, Stardate 54, 929.7. We have just arrived in the Tellen system and did some preliminary investigations about why Xareg could have wanted to be active in this system. It seemed less than promising until we got faint signals suggesting that there are trapped or incarcerated Federation citizens that are in need of rescue. I am organizing a away team to assess the situation and organizing a second away team to jump into action if our fears are confirmed in Captain's log.
Excellent. That should be the space map. All right. As the captain mentioned, you just warped into the system. The Tellen system with Tellen III being the inhabited planet. Curiously enough, Tellen III doesn't seem to have a space station above it, but instead it has an orbital infrastructure. Not completely unheard of in the age of transporters. Sometimes if you're moving a lot of material, back and forth from the surface, as in this case with a mining operation, and they have been seen to use, but it is kind of off kilter. You have been in contact with the supposed self-proclaimed leader and owner of this operation, a Ferengi named Glak, who very proudly and happily talked to you and tried to ask if there's anything you needed, any sales that you wanted to do, but you also received a faint transmission, not even a subspace radio, but a standard radio transmission of someone from the surface calling for help. Oh, and explaining that they were Federation citizens and that they were trapped on the surface somewhere. And was there any other scans or any other positioning in things that you wanted to do before we move to a crew meeting?
Alice Bogwell wants to do character intro.
Well, we'd call him up to the meeting.
Oh, one more thing of note out of Tellen III, it is technically M class, but barely. It has been strip mined into pieces, and a lot of the refinery is done on the surface, and the surface is very unforgiving, and rebreathers are required because of the toxicity of the atmosphere.
Would it be easier? Okay, so either rebreathers or EVA suits.
Yeah, I think we can discuss that in the meeting.
Rebreathers are required, so that's going to be no cost, just because you need it to exist on the surface for a long period of time. You can breathe the atmosphere, but only for like 5 minutes before our lung damage starts happening. EVA suits would be an opportunity cost, but nothing. It would be slight overkill for this is planet, but not unreasonable if that's something you want to do. And there's
Is there
also
something? I'm sorry. Is there something I can give them to be able to breathe a little longer without the need for the suits?
a triox compound would help. That could extend in the breathing time to upwards of 4 hours, but it's really the caustic nature of the atmosphere that's worrying.
Understood.
And there's also reports of radiation storms that kick up in the atmosphere sometimes, giant windstorms that come in that has a bunch of radiation in it that might cause trouble with if sensors and ground weapons. Otherwise, we can move to meeting. Calder, was there anything else you wanted to do before the meeting starts?
Nope.
Maddox.
Negative.
Archer?
I wasn't here last session.
Captain or Dr. Barog?
Yeah, I wanna know. I wanna look up in our inventory how many of the isolation suits we have. I know we have 2 of them, but I don't know if we have more.
I'll let this be. Alright, I'm assuming you're just looking this up on the computer.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let this be Control Command, difficulty 1, assisted by Ship's Computers Command. And the ship roll? Alright, there's at least one momentum and from that. As far as the holographic isolation shoots, you have 4.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I had.
Very well. Captain has called a senior staff meeting. And for the time being, Tolek is on the bridge monitoring.
We would have called the doctor up.
I just go ahead and pull my cell phone over to the ready room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, somebody already did.
Then when the doctor walks in, I'll walk up to him, hand out. Good to meet you, doctor. It's somewhat disappointing that I haven't had a chance to get down there to see you yet, but glad to finally meet you.
Captain, it's good to meet you. I understand you're busy. hopefully we'll have a moment where we can get to sit down and share some stories.
Yes, I'm sure we can find some time after all this business. All right, so I've got us all here because we possibly have Federation citizens down on the planet who are falsely incarcerated or in some kind of distress. I think our general approach should be to send down one away team to assess the situation, and then have a second response team with appropriate equipment and armament ready if that first away team finds something of significance. Are there any other thoughts on the overall plan before we get into specifics?
Any chance we know how many are down there?
I don't think so. We haven't gotten accurate scans, and it was only one transmission.
And we don't know if they're injured either.
No, and I think that should be part of the goal of the first away team is to establish whether they can leave on their own or not.
I'd like to go with the first away team, if possible.
I was hoping to get medical personnel with the away team.
That's fine then. Doctor, understanding that you are the senior officer, I would ask if you would accept me sending Lieutenant Calder in charge of this, as he has more tactical acumen and I have more experience with him. But I wouldn't want to insult your rank.
No, I've read the medical personnel files, and he's very capable.
All right then. I think Commander Calder, you can take a team consisting of the doctor and anyone else you deem appropriate for a recon mission.
Should we beam down or take a shuttle?
GM, do we know if there's any adverse conditions that would affect beaming?
Possibly the radiations in storms as interfere with if sensors. They're a class S2 hazard, but they're intermittent. So, you can get down to the surface as long as you don't beam into a storm, there won't be a problem. But if a storm blows over top of you, you're kind of stuck unless you can counteract that.
I feel like with that knowledge, it's a better safe than sorry to just take a shuttle with us. And if we are taking a shuttle, I would like to have a marcher with the team to pilot the shuttle. If he
Yeah, let me look at the rules real quick. I need to know how many shuttles we can have active at a time. Have extensive shuttle base, so I think it's scale -2 or something like that, or half scale -2 maybe.
I think it's just a straight up scale, but the X.
One last thing, we don't have any concerns that this might be a trap for us, do we?
That's why we would be sending the advanced team. Especially that's my main reason for asking if Calder can be in charge, so that he can look for signs of trap.
Understood.
GM, do you know the page? Because I don't know if I can find anything in this book.
Have sensor scans revealed anything down there?
Just the storms.
Beyond the storms, nothing else?
We know it's mined planet. There's probably massive caverns down there from removing metals from the crust.
Page 233 is shuttle. Says Starship can support a number of active small craft equal to its scale -1 at any time.
So we can have 3. The next thing is there are 3 types of shuttles, 4 types of shuttles, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
I think all we have are the.
I think we can have anything but runabouts or peregrines.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah, you can't have runabouts because you need the extensive shuttle base to even fit them. But as far as the shuttle complement, you can rotate them and out and pull up any class shuttle you want.
So far, I think the glare or the is the best one we have, unless we have want to pull out a shuttle that could carry a lot of people.
That's what I was thinking. So I was gonna look up the stats because
The shuttles are in the command book.
yeah.
Give me a sec. I'll pull out the shuttle.
So type 6 is the 1 or 2 plus 6 passengers, and we could arm it if we wanted. Type 7 is the one that can't be armed.
But it could carry 12 passengers.
Up to 12 passengers. Type 8 is 1 or 2 plus 6. It can be armed, but it doesn't say what it can be armed with.
Looks like it's just phaser banks.
Yeah.
Phaser banks escalation 2.
Yeah, and then type 9 is
1 plus 2, sadly.
Yeah, we don't want the type 9.
Yeah, type 9
that one's
are small, but they're the best armed.
They're heavily armed. Well, actually, I take that back because type 10s have quantums. But they're 1 or 2 plus 2. I'm thinking.
I think maybe do have a type 9 take point and have 2 of the type 6 6s on standby to bring people in. Oh yeah, 2 type 7s. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay. Ensign Archer, go through your section and find me some good shuttle pilots. I think we'll take a shuttle approach. I think I probably want you in Overwatch on a type 10 shuttle to protect the type 7s because the type 7s are not armed. And if there's people down there being held, then they're probably being held against their will, and that normally implies weapons.
Okay, Captain, I'll check that immediately.
Alright, so we'll disembark 3 shuttles. We'll have an armed shuttle in the atmosphere for protection, and we'll have 2 transport shuttles. I still think, Calder, you should do some investigation, take some of the isolation suits, and investigate what's going on. And maybe we send down some some transporter enhancers. Yeah, Jim, am I right that it's possible to like put down transporter enhancers and then have a shuttle beam someone and then have the ship beam them from the shuttle?
So use the a shuttle to beam someone and down to the surface with transport enhancers, and then from the transport enhancers beam up to the ship.
Well, no, like I think that the shuttle would always be in the middle, but the shuttle could be above the storms. It might be too complicated.
And that was 2 Type 6?
No, 2 Type 7s and a Type 9 or 10.
Okay.
That was an in-character question to Archer and Calder, because I'm not a pilot. Are there any other suggestions anyone has?
I mean, I don't think using the stealth suits would be necessary, because we could just say we just got a message from command, and we have to do a inspection of the station, because I doubt they can do anything about us looking through.
Well, the signal came from the planet, not the station. So I don't actually I don't think you're going to run into anyone unless they're hostile. And I just wanted you to have the ability to scout around without getting shot at.
Were we scanned by the station when we came into the system?
Jim, I think we could assume that they probably did some cursory scan.
They did some cursory scan, but nothing too deep that it rose alarms. Just kind
Yeah,
of,
'cause-
oh, there's a ship in the system. What you doing?
Yeah, we talked to them.
Okay, so we don't know that we don't think they're in cahoots with the people down on the planet then?
Well,
No, I think they probably are, but we don't know that for sure.
yeah, well, yeah, a chance that, well, there's a chance of the Ferengi having slaves. So it's
Well, it's not going to be a secret that you're coming then. I mean, they're probably very aware that you're going to be coming down to the surface.
yeah, unless as soon as we started the shuttle and go in silent, there's a chance we could go in quietly.
So then maybe we just send a Type 10, which can hold 4 people,
Yeah,
and then maybe with some fancy flying, Archer could evade sensor sweeps. And you could get down there and use the isolation suits to figure out what's going on. And then once you... Go ahead.
Sorry. Do I understand correctly that this ship maybe has a cloaking device?
It does have one. Yes.
Is this something where we could put the planet between us and the station, cloak, and then move around where we can maybe shield the shuttle going to the surface?
GM, well, that actually brings up a good point. GM, I don't think this ship is capable of landing. Can it? I don't know if our nacelles are too low.
so I think the only ships that can is the Intrepid.
I've not seen anything that explicitly indicated that the Steamrunner class could land, but given its design and its mission and profile as a blockade runner, I would not be surprised if it could. It would be a difficulty 3 task as to land in general. To evade sensors is a whole nother issue.
Well, I'd imagine this ship can't because it's around the same time that the Defiant was made, and that ship is like, hey, this ship can land on planet, but don't land on planet, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I don't actually think that there's an image of the Steamrunner in the book. I'm just trying to look at it real quick to see.
Your nacelle does dip down a little far, so you would have to have landing feet in the saucer section to kind of balance it. But I'm mechanically, if there's landing feet up front, and I don't see any problems with this thing landing.
It is pretty flat, actually. Like there's nacelles are pretty much level with the body.
Yeah, actually, the saucer section is completely flat all the way across. So the only bump you have is the deflector pod in the back that is dipped down underneath the saucer.
Not that deep. Yeah, so I guess that would be a GM call because I doubt it's in the wiki. Well, we can look at the wiki, but
I've checked the wiki up one side, down the other. It doesn't say anything about landing capabilities, but it only has a couple minutes of screen time.
So,
I feel like if it was able to land, they would probably have made comment of that because that is such a limited type of situation in most ships. I feel like it would have been announced in even a small wiki.
Yes, I think this is so far the only ships that can land on planet is the Intrepid.
The Intrepid and the Nova
Yeah,
was
because
said to have that. But the Nova's scale 3, the Intrepid is a scale 5, so...
Intrepid is bigger than us, and it has, like it has a more, like its body is much lower than, or its body is lower than the bottom of the saucer, so I don't think it would be too out there for us.
And concerning the original mission and profile of this thing being a planetary blockade, a runner, I don't think it's too out of the way to say that this thing could land on a planet and deploy troops or care immediately.
Well, okay, so if we do a landing, we would have to take the warp core offline, then all the plasma from the nacelle, the nacelles. And I don't know how much.
Yeah, I think we should be able to just like move between the planet and or put the planet between us and the space station, and then launch from there.
Yeah, I think there's a way where we could do something to at least make make the Svalinn more noticeable than the shuttles. I think Tolik could do that in his sleep if you wanted to.
I am puzzled as to why I would want to attempt to do it in my sleep, as that would certainly make the task much more difficult.
It's a figure a speech saying you could probably do it extremely easy.
Ah, one of your human colloquialisms. Most amusing.
All right. Well, you can only take a team of 4, Commander Calder, so I would suggest you take Archer and the Doctor.
Yeah, and I think I'll let you decide on who to bring it as a fourth. Maybe a additional security personnel.
No, I think we'll send Maddox in case we need to start beaming people up. I think I would want him operating the shuttle's transporter.
Aye, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Commander Calder, you have my full permission to use any equipment from the armory if you necessary.
Yeah, okay.
All right, then, Ensign Archer, if you would, I guess we should move to the bridge, and if you would please bring us put the planet between us and the station. And I'll head out to the bridge.
I'm going to go ahead and go to sickbay and get things ready just in case we have injured and wounded folks.
Yeah, getting it prepped in case we have to beam people into sick bay.
Correct. If you need to beam them direct into sickbay, I'll be ready.
Yep.
GM, I want to create an advantage that we have. Let's see. I want to create an advantage that we have 2 security teams of 6 available, standing by in the shuttle bay to go if we need them to.
So I'll have 2 security teams, aims ready to go, and 2 shuttles.
Yeah, I'm just looking.
Want me to, would that count as just a deploy electrics?
Deploy the what?
Do you want me to go a deploy electrics ability thing? Which is
you can do it for free on the ship, but I think
yeah,
if they
leave the ship, it'll be like a difficulty 2, presence, command, or security.
I think you're. Okay, so it's. Okay, so.
Yeah, because I want to go ahead and combine the advantage with having 2 Type 8s ready.
You mean Type 7s? Are the ones the K-12?
So my idea was that if you get into a shootout, I could send you two squads and shuttles that have weapons on them, if need be. So the shuttles need to be able to hold a squad, and they need to have armament. And I think only the Type 8 can do that. The Type 7 could hold more, which would be good, but it doesn't have weapons. The Type 9 and 10 can't hold a security team.
Okay, so if we do the Type 8s, we'd have to, and give them weapons, we have to spend 2 escalation on both of them.
Do we have to decide that now, GM, or can we decide if we launch them? Because if we don't end up launching them, then we really didn't cause an escalation by just having them ready.
Yeah, just by having them ready, you won't incur the escalation. They get the escalation, and once they're on the field, so.
Oh, so then, yeah, I'd like to create the advantage that we have 2 security teams with 2 Type 8s ready to go to support if need be. And either I could roll in support of Calder or Archer, whoever you think would take lead on that, because the shuttles are Archer's responsibility, I think.
I would say for the shuttles, let's do presence con on difficulty E2, and it could be assisted by Calder to have the security teams in there as well.
Icon is not good, so that should probably be led by Archer. Oh, Archer's presence is not good, so we're in a... we're both not the best at this.
Yeah, looking at it, the Type 9 is better than the Type 10.
Yeah, but the Type 9 could only take 2 people, and we want to see him send a team of 4.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, actually, both me, Calder, and Archer are all bad at this particular roles.
What role is that again?
It's presence con.
Looks like we'll be spending a dice.
Well, does any of us have a focus? Because Archer does have a 4, so if he has a focus, then he should probably lead it. Would you accept combat tactics?
Yeah, I would accept combat tactics.
Yeah, then Archer should probably lead, because he has a 4 in con. And then you could assist Calder. Oh well.
Okay.
Can I assist? instead. GM?
Yes, you can an assist.
Yeah, assist then, because I think my presence con is better than yours. Yeah, this is not good for any of us, but I think
if you're or assisting in the a faction and of a captain, I will accept your presence command.
Accept his presence security if he's assisting in getting the security teams together.
Well, I mean, can't you just use direct to assist with command?
Well, direct is kind of a combat task, so it's only, I think the GM would only allow me to use it under special circumstances.
You. I'll accept you assisting with presence command and Archer with presence con with
Okay.
the combat tactics focus.
Archer, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
You gotta go.
Presence command?
Presence con.
And you do have a focus, and there's one momentum on the table. Or you could use threat.
Would push the limits work?
No, you're not navigating or preparing people.
Oh, you can use.
What's the difficulty?
It's difficulty 2, and Captain Elder is assisting, and he already rolled a 1.
I will use the momentum.
Okay. And you gain it back. You now have the advantage of, and let me get this straight, it was 2 Type 7s prepped with security teams, correct?
Type 8s.
Type 8s, okay. I'm getting my shuttlecraft types all confused. Alright, so you have 2 Type 8s prepped with 12 of security members, or 6 to each craft. And who's going in the main shuttlecraft?
I think it's me, Archer, Maddox, and the Doctor.
So Archer's piloting the first shuttlecraft?
Yeah, from the sounds of how we're doing this plan.
Okay, and which shuttle are you taking? Which class?
I think we're taking the Type 10.
Type 10 shuttle, so that is the Bifrost.
Yep. I think all you have to do for the Bifrost is give the players access to the, because all I have is the bio and info.
You should have access to the whole thing. Let me check this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I messed this up. There we go. Should be able to see it now.
Thank you.
And I'm putting all the shuttle classes in the name so I can sort this out easier.
Yeah.
Any other preparations before you go down?
Yeah, we needed to maneuver the ship so that the planet was between us and the station, so they couldn't see.
Yeah, and to do his sensor skill to make the Svalinn stronger, so we can slip by easier.
Okay. Let's do Telex X scan and first. So you're going to be scanning their sensor band and to try to find a hole in it.
Okay.
What is
it?
That's going to be a reason science difficulty 3. I'm going to spend 2 threat to make that difficulty 4.
Well, of yours. Let's see. Well, I think I got a whole lot working for me here. I believe I have values that will work. I have value understands computers better than people.
That would work.
Computer expertise, talent.
Oh, and this would also be assisted by computers or science. So we're looking at
Is it 1 momentum for an extra dice?
Okay. Are you gonna be using a value?
That was
Using a determination for this?
yes.
All right, so it'll be 1 momentum and 1 threat. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so how many dice am I rolling here?
You would be rolling 3 dice, and you automatically get 2 hits.
Perfect.
Assisted by the ship's computer science. Right. Gain 2 momentum. And you have successfully their sensor sweeps figured out and a hole found. Now for the fun part. Archer, you need to move the ship into position. It's going to be a control task. Yes. Difficulty E3, assisted by ship's engines con. And Tellek can and assist with reason science to give you the sensor information.
I will use a momentum.
Okay. And Tellek assist with reason and science.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Voice keeps dropping.
Okay, so it's
We're standing at 2 out of 3. Tellek, you do have an assist with reason science, and it's on this roll, by feeding Archer the sensor sweep information.
All right, reason science. Yep. Reason science. Uh-huh.
You do not make it. In fact, you get a hail from the station.
Is anybody going to answer that?
That's unfortunate.
As you're attempting to maneuver, you get a hail from the station. Are you answering it, or are you just ignoring it?
On screen.
Captain, and I've noticed that your ship is moving into a peculiar orbit. Is everything okay? I have docking facilities available oh, on my ice station well, or I can recommend a parking orbit for you.
That won't be necessary. We have found that we have not surveyed this system in several years, so we are doing just a routine update to the star chart. Thanks for your concern. Fallen out.
Can you close the channel? And it just goes, wait, hold it, click.
Ooh.
You can and try the maneuver again, but it's going to be erase the difficulty 4. And
We could also whip out to. This is Tellen III, correct?
this is Tellen III, yeah, correct.
We could also whip out behind Tellen IV, cloak, whip back in, get underneath the radiation storms, and beam troops down.
I want to take another shot at this, and if we can't get it again, then we'll reformulate.
Okay. I will also be raising the complication by I2, so complication 3.
What has made the task more difficult?
He's now aware that you are attempting to maneuver, and I've spent threat.
But yeah, I'm just asking for the reason for the flavor for the threat spin, because it might activate push the limits.
The flavor for the threat spin and is he's now more wary about your movements and might be keeping a closer eye on you, and if he sees anything suspicious, he might act a certain way.
Okay, so I don't think that does. Yeah, it might be time for a determination spin if you want to.
And the complication goes up just because you're trying the same task again in the same scene. There's 1 momentum on the table. Archer, would you be spending a determination on this?
What does spending a determination actually
It essentially adds 1 dice to your pool that automatically rolls a 1, so you'd be getting +2 to your hit. In order to spend a determination, you have to tell me a relevant value to the task you're attempting.
Okay, I will spend the determination with the value. I love crazy ideas.
Yep, that
and
fits.
I will give you a threat for a 3rd dice.
A threat for a 3rd dice. Since you bought a dice with determination, the cost goes up by 1, so would it be 2 threat, or do you want to do a threat and a momentum?
I'll do the threat and the momentum.
Okay, 1 threat, 1 momentum on that. As Archer settles into his seat, Unfortunately, the complication still stands.
Dang, and we get two complications.
Did you roll? Did you use determination?
You did. So we're looking at 5 hits so far.
Well, there's still total assist.
And then total assist with reason science.
Reason science. Okay, reason science.
Ooh, and a crit.
That means we can get rid of one complication.
Okay, so we're looking at 5, 7.
Okay, so we gain a total of 6. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 3 momentum.
Yep, you gain a total of 3 momentum off that, and you're going to spend 2 to quash.
But which one should we quash? Archers or the ships?
Mechanically, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And I'll take that complication as threat. And save that for later. But settling into your seat.
Oh, did you...
What was that?
Oh, you need to roll for untapped potential. Because you bought dice with momentum. Or threat.
Yes. So Archer rolls one challenge dice.
We get 1 momentum equal to that, so we could combine that with the one we gained to quash the other.
With the other one. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I find that a lot of times people forget they have untapped potential. It could be really powerful.
In cases like this, because you just denied me 2 threat. So
here we are dodging bullets.
With that, very much dodging bullets, you are in essentially a sensor shadow within their or sensor sweeps. You are within range of the planet. You can transport down, or you can and send shuttles down, hopefully without being seen.
All right, Mr. Caller, you can go form your team.
You okay? I would like to do a check to form the 2 security teams, unless this has already been made.
Yeah, the 2 security teams and the 2 shuttles, that's already been taken care of.
Okay. I was hoping for the check to gain some momentum to grab some items.
I mean, threat works just as well, if you want to grab items. Rebreathers are mandatory. EVA suits, it's will cost.
I think the rebreathers are fine.
All right, and so colors going on the shuttle. Dr. Archer and Maddox. Correct?
Yeah, I think I'll spend, because we don't have any opportunity. I'll just do. Well, no, momentum. So that's going to be 2 threat to get some body armor.
I didn't think I was going to the surface on this go.
Yeah, I think originally we had thought that there would be 2 waves, but the way it worked out, I think there's only going to be 1.
Okay.
Yeah, the plan is to we're bringing you in case these people need immediate medical help, and because of the litigation, it's gonna be hard to beam them out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need to send. We need to spend 1 momentum to send Maddox with some pattern enhancer.
Okay, so 1 momentum for pattern enhancers, and 2 momentum for body armor for Calder, and then it'll be 1 for everyone else to have body armor, or 1 for each other person to have body armor. So for 3 more momentum, you can equip the rest of the team with body armor as well.
It's up to who wants to have body armor. Like, I'm going there because isn't this place a penal colony?
It's a mining colony, officially.
I think scratch the body armor. I think we're safe with what we have on our persons unless someone says otherwise.
Okay.
Can I bring an emergency surgical kit with me?
Yeah, that, as the chief medical officer, that is just part of your standard equipment.
There
Okay.
are specialized things. I don't know if there's a separate kit for that, but there are other items.
Good point. Let me check the book.
There's blood gas infuser, bone regenerator, cardio stimulator, cortical scanner, cortical stimulator.
Where do you see this?
Is that the science book? Around page 50.
I don't have the science book.
Yeah. I don't see anything.
Maybe given the surface of the planet, a blood gas infuser might be helpful in case someone's lungs are severely damaged. It allows them to breathe by bypassing the lungs and just oxygenating the blood directly.
All right, I'll take one of those.
Okay.
And maybe yeah, there's a bunch of different drugs. Just maybe call out that you're taking some Triox and some.
Oh, is that not a standard in my med kit?
It doesn't actually say.
It might be E-standard. Just a good idea if there's anything particular that you need to call it out, just in case. Just so I'm aware that you have it, and if there's any cost, I can say that there's cost for it. But Triox is standard.
The drugs don't actually have opportunity cost, so it's probably could be safely assumed that he just had them.
Yep.
But
okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get an assortment of the drugs if that's okay. I'd like to. I don't know what I'm going into. I don't know if I'm going to have trauma. I don't know if I'm going to have a deoxygenation.
Yeah, I sent you the excerpt from the book that has all of the drugs. So in case you want to, in case later in the episode you actually just want to call it out by name, you have it there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I have transport enhancers, which have been paid for, Trax compound, blood gas infusers, and surgical kit, which are all standard issue. Anyone want to bring upgraded weapons?
What about my project that I was working on?
Indeed, your project. Da-da-da. actually thought an idea for stats. That's for this. So your special project, it normally rolls 4 challenge dice plus your security. If you use the area effect, it gains a dice, and the area effect can spread it out to targets within medium range of your primary target. It is cumbersome, so you will have to use 2 hands to hold it, so you can't like dual wield with this thing. It has an escalation cost of 2, opportunity cost of 1.
Is that possible to be taken?
Yeah, you could take it. It would be a 3 threat at this point.
Does anyone oppose?
Go for it.
All right. As Archer comes into the shuttle bay, wielding a portable Gatling gun. Looks like Type 3 a rifle strapped together to housing assembly, and with 2 heavy handles along the top and a shoulder sling.
I am mouthing 3 words, and I think you can guess what those 3 words are.
All right, last call for gear before we launch this shuttle.
I want to take an engineering tricorder and a hyperspanner.
Do I have to mention a medical tricorder also?
I think that comes as your standard gear because you're medical.
Yeah, stuff like tricorders and a sidearm and a communicator are kind of considered to be on your person at all times.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think because of your rank and stuff, you come standard with a Type 2.
Yeah, if you are lieutenant commander or higher, you have a Type 2.
All right, there's my drug list.
Excellent. I recognize some of those words, but we'll figure it out as we go. All right. To leave you guys all pack into the shuttle. Oh, it is up here. The Type 10 USS Bifrost. And to get to the planet without being noticed, that is going to be a Tro plus con diff 3 because you're trying to stay hidden. Assisted by the shuttle's Ingicon. Alright, Archer, you have the stick.
Excuse me just a minute. I've got to go AFK for just a second while I let my dog in. Sorry.
Yep, just fine. Archer?
Would the increase in difficulty be due to environmental conditions?
Yes, actually. So that'll bring it down to 2. At least one of those difficulty was as because of the environmental conditions. Any focuses or extra dice?
I was wondering, what do normal milestones do?
You can you can spend them to get an extra determination. But it's kind of related to an episode previously where you spent determination. So, if you spent determination in a previous episode to avoid a hazard, to like avoid a navigational hazard or something, you can call upon it again, spend the normal milestone, and get a determination back. Which, as of now, how you did not uh, reach the goal. So, I'm not sure or narratively how to do that. You launch unsuccessfully, you get into orbit of the planet, but a sensor sweep it comes by and just barely misses you, and you have to pull up and kind of abort your landing momentarily until the sensor sweep passes by. So you can try another run, but it goes up to difficulty 4, brought down to difficulty 3 because of push the limits. And if you'd like, someone on the sensors could help with reason science.
Yeah, it's good to say who's at the ops station on the shuttle, because there's an ops station on
yeah,
all.
Yeah, there would be an ops station that could possibly help out with this.
The all of the stats say like 1 or 2 people plus a number. That's because there's 2 stations.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pilot and an ops station, except for a worker bee. But I don't think you should be planning rescues in worker bees.
So we have a control con difficulty a 3 task assisted by Ice Shuttle's engine con, and someone else can assist at the op station with a reason con. Or reason science. And you can always spend for more dice.
So I was wondering, since I used most of my determinations for Spirit of Discovery, could I spend a normal milestone now for Spirit of Discovery?
Yes, but from what episode? What episode have you done, and where you've flown really craftily, and kind of because normal milestones kind of represent you calling back to a time where you've done something similar to this.
The difference is he's not asking for help on the roll. He's asking to use it for Spirit of Discovery, so it's not related to.
Oh, it's not related to a value. Okay.
It would still need. He'd still need a value to spend the determination on the talent, but he wouldn't need to connect it to flying a shuttle because he's not using it on the shuttle roll.
Okay. Essentially, he use a normal milestone known for Spirit of Discovery.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I will allow that. So knock off 1 on milestone. And gain 3 momentum.
And I'll spend that on dice.
All of it?
Correct.
Alright. You now have 2 additional dice for this. And 1 more from someone at the off station.
I assume Maddox would be at ops.
Mm-hmm.
And between the two of you, Archer or calling upon on the Spirit of Discovery, being a fresh ensign and flying a shuttle into a radioactive planet, you manage to fly the shuttle to the surface as safely.
And
I
believe I can also roll for untapped potential.
Yes, you may. Unfortunately, that does not hit. A little longer. So you bring the shuttle down to the surface. It's slipping in between main sensor scans, and you find a barren, dusty planet. There are signs of vegetation, but they're all brown and sickly looking, very low to the ground, and gigantic holes bored into the surface. Not far from the space elevator, there's 10-kilometer wide hole that has just been bored in over centuries, and a steady line of trucks almost twice the size of your shuttle, carting material from that borehole to the refinery at the base of the space elevator. And the space elevator is just this giant black tower stretching out of the middle of the refinery, and it just seems to stretch up through the clouds into infinity, and it's kind of mind-boggling to see. Again, this technology is possible all in the 21st century. It's just not used often because transporters. So this is possibly the first time you guys have seen anything like this. How close to the refinery in the village do you land?
Not a distance far enough so that if someone's looking out from the town, they won't see us.
Okay, so kind of find like a hidden ravine or something.
Yeah.
Maddox, since you are at ops, give me a reason and con or security roll, difficulty 2 to find a good landing spot. And Archer can assist.
Could I do the reason security if possible?
Maddox would have to get it from the ops station. Because there's only 2 consoles in this shuttle.
I'll ask Maddox if he would mind if I could take the seat for a hot moment.
Absolutely, Commander.
Okay, so going reason science. No, reason security.
Yep, reason security call, and Archer can assist us with reason con.
And would combat tactics work for focus?
Do you have anything else?
Starfleet fleet protocol?
Not really.
Well, I'm in both of these rolled at or below my skill for reason security, so that means
Yeah. So
yep.
you at least got 2 hits. I do need the shuttles roll. Sensor
Okay.
security.
Okay, give me a sec to pull the.
And I am using sensor imaging as a focus.
I will allow that.
Okay, so looks like going to success.
But you do manage to find a nice little dip in the hills that you can and glide your shuttle into. And it is only like a 30-minute walk back to the village from there. And you have touchdown.
Okay, I'm pull out my tricorder and check it out to and set it up to track the radio signal that the Svalinn picked up.
Okay. To track the radio signal, that would be reason science or engineering. You're on the reason science and or engineering.
I'll do reason. I'll do reason engineering. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty 2. I am spending into threat to up that to difficulty 3. And and you can get an assist from someone else in the away team.
Want to help me with this, Maddox?
Absolutely. Reason engineering.
Mm-hmm. Any focuses you want to use?
Don't think I've got one that fits.
Well, it's just modifying. Using the tricoder to find a frequency for the radio. So I'll spend a threat to get myself a third dice.
Okay.
Wow.
Nicely done. And gain a momentum. As indeed, you do find a radio signal. It's the exact same repeating message you got before. It's a little clearer than it was as from orbit, and it is. See, it's this way towards the village. It is kind of off at a angle from the village, about 3 kilometers.
Should we examine the signal first, and then the village?
You're the commander. Yeah, this map's a bit wonky because it's a
trying to
side view.
Let's. Yeah, let's check out the signal first in case the village has any form of hostile security.
Very well. Are you just marching out across the wasteland, or are you trying to be stealthy about it? If you're just marching out, there's going to be no roll. If you're trying to be stealthy, there would be a roll.
I think we'll attempt to be stealthy.
Okay. Group rolls aren't really a thing in this, but
Yeah, you could make it an extended task, or you could make it just like a task in general, but everyone assists.
an extended task sounds fun. In fact, I get to use my new tool. Alright. So this would be whoops, that is not the right text for this. Why? And you need to be bigger. Difficulty 3. Magnitude 3. Now let's do resistance 1. And work track of 14. It's quite a hike. And the roll is going to be control security.
Okay. I shall spend a momentum. And will combat tactics work for a focus?
Absolutely. track 14. 0.
Anyone want to assist?
Well, my control, I have a 10. I don't know what this means. I'm trying to figure out how the skills work here, but I'm quite honestly a bit overwhelmed about how this works.
Okay. You take like an attribute and a discipline, and you add them together, and that's your target number. And the idea is you roll a d20, and you want to roll underneath the target number. If you have a focus, that adds a special ability to where if you roll underneath the discipline, and you gain 2 hits instead of 1.
I see. Okay.
And then to gain extra dice, you can. There's certain talents that give you dice for free. You can give me threat or spend and momentum into gain extra dice.
And is threat unlimited, or what does threat do exactly if I give you threat?
Threat is unlimited, and threat kind of accounts for are you taking risk or doing things boldly to get things done, and it's a resource that me as the GM can use is to make things more difficult, or I could call in reinforcements. And
okay.
So threat and momentum kind of balance each other out. Momentum is good things, threat is bad things. And you get a momentum by succeeding extra at a task. So if you have a difficulty 3 task like now, and you get 4 hits, you gain the difference as momentum. But you can only have a cap of 6 momentum at a time.
Okay. So are we all having to roll on this against this challenge right now, or?
Calder's taking the lead on it, and 1 or 2 people can assist. So someone else with a good control security, he might be able to help.
I have a 10 control, but only a 2 security, so.
Yeah, my control and security is 13.
And Archer?
I've got a 15.
Seems like Archer's the logical choice to do an assist.
And I'll be using combat tactics as a focus.
I'll accept it. And with that, you made the first magnitude.
I would like to activate my medal, which gives me two bonus momentum if it's just this check.
Okay, 2 bonus momentum after succeeding on a task. Excellent. And now, Calder, you'd be rolling 2 plus your security, so 7 challenge dice to try to fill the work track. And Archer, you can roll 1 challenge dice, as you're kind of helping the rest of the group sneak along as well. Oh,
okay.
Now it rolled 7. Oof. Alright, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Could I use the 2 momentum to have a breakthrough?
You already have 1 on breakthrough. So you've gotten 10 out of 14 work.
Minus the resistance, which makes it 9.
Oh, thank you. I always forget that.
So let's.
But with the bonus momentum, you could add 2 more work, and you can get another breakthrough.
Yeah, let's do that.
As you are clipping along, and Calder calls upon on his experience and to stealthily move through the planet's surface and no. Yep, so you're now at control security difficulty 1 task.
Okay, I will spend 1 threat to get a 3rd dice.
Okay. And Archer can assist as well. And AFK 1 second. Okay, back. So that was difficulty 1 task. You gain 3 momentum on top. And 7 challenge dice Calder and 1 from Archer.
So is that enough?
Yep. You completed the work track, and you successfully snuck your way all the way back to the source of the transmission. Your tricorders indicate that it is within the vicinity, but you're not seeing anything in particular. No structures, no habitation. There's a couple scraggly trees. There's a cave nearby. So to continue, you looking in the immediate area. It'll be controls, security or engineering difficulty 1.
Can we all make that roll, or just?
I think. I think it'll make sense for Maddox to assist.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What did you say?
I think it'll be helpful with Maddox assisting. Okay, so let's. Would forensics work?
Forensics would work.
Thank you.
And Maddox with the assist. Alright. 2 more momentum as you find kind of tucked into the scraggly roots of this tree. You find a black box about the size of a shoebox. It looks like it's just a clobbered together radio with a simple Arduino circuit chip, and it's just repeating the message.
Oh man.
Okay, so
but there is writing on it. Oh, writing on it says... I'm just gonna type this up.
Also, would this proc my lead investigator?
Yes, this counts as an investigation.
Okay.
Yep, and kind of just written on masking tape and taped to the bottom is a simple message. Find us at Z9913_Tango 4.
Okay, one of my frequent questions to help us find that location.
What question specifically? If you recognize what that number could be?
I mean, any chance that the shuttle has at least flown near or under it?
For a free question, and from lead investigator, I'll tell you that looks like kind of like an address of a cell block. It could be referring to like building and hallway and room numbers. And you get 2 more free questions. No, 1 more free question because the investigator gives you 2. Any other questions?
Got any ideas on my last questions, team?
Possible questions on the construction of the a device or power source or what?
Okay, how about a question that'll help me find who I am looking for, person-wise? Not.
There's no particular identifying information on it. In fact, it looks like this was kind of scrubbed to keep any incriminating information off it besides the cell block tag.
Oh, okay.
But if Maddox wants to look over it, he can look over it from an engineering perspective.
Maddox?
Indeed, I do.
Okay. Reason engineering difficulty 1. And you make it. This is actually quite clever. Or this was the power source seems to be taking out of some sort of like hand drill device. The circuitry was actually like manually rewired to make this transmission, and the antenna is strips of aluminum taken from something and just spiraled into a primitive antenna. It won't go into subspace, and again, this is just squawking out a radio frequency, but this was quite ingenious that someone came up with this, as possibly someone with formalized engineering education. You're not sure if that's Starfleet or some sort of civilian in university, but definitely someone with at least like a bachelor's or degree in understanding of electronics.
Suffice it to say, Maddox is impressed with the handiwork.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Is it possible for me to scan it for any kind of cellular residue that might indicate uh, the race that may have had involvement? Human,
Yeah.
Ferengi,
Yeah,
whatever.
that makes sense. Go ahead and reason medicine. It's been out here for a long time. I'm difficulty 2.
Okay, so what do I do here on the thing? I click reason and medicine.
Yep, you click reason medicine, and then on your focus list, just read through them. And is there any focuses that would?
Yeah, absolutely. I have biology.
Yep, that would apply. So we click focus yes.
Okay. Complication you said was a 2?
Complication is 1. It's
1.
standard aired at 1, and complication is when you roll a 20. That's a complication, and I get 2 threat or something interesting happens. Complication can go up depending on circumstances or if I spend threat.
Okay.
Log, if you want, you can. You could spend a momentum to give yourself an extra dice to gold.
Okay. Well, I also have, of course, my tricorder, which should, I would think, help. And then I have, I do have talents of bold medicine, field medicine, doctor's order, and quick study. I don't know if any of those would play in. But
bold medicine and would work if you give me a threat for an extra dice. That will allow you to re-roll any dice. So if you get a 0 or a complication, you can get a free re-roll all on a dice.
Okay, and the tricorder, does that do anything?
That's just a tool to allow you to do this roll in the first place.
Okay, all right. So you guys feel like I should spend a momentum then to get the extra dice?
Well, it's up to you if you want to spend a momentum or give the GM a threat to give you the chance to use both. It's up to you.
I'd rather use the momentum. I don't know that I'm prepared to give him a threat over this.
Okay. 1 momentum.
Okay, that's reasonable.
So, you would set your task roll to 3.
Okay.
Task rolls standardly you have 2 dice, and you buy more or to get more.
Okay.
And the spending on that is escalating, so it's 1 for the first dice, 2 for the second, and 3 for the third.
I gotcha. And do I put anything here for challenge dice?
Nope. That is a different set of dice.
All right. And then where do I hit the roll button?
You hit the chevron next to. Actually, let me look at the sheet. I kind of forgot what it is.
Task roll?
Yep, the chevron next to task roll.
Gotcha.
And there you go.
And like that, you go like a god.
That's good?
Okay. That is good, because you are going for difficulty 2. You got 2 and then some. So you gain. Okay, so total is 5, so you gain 3 momentum off that. And off the initial roll, you do find that the species is Tellarite.
Tellarite.
And now you have the opportunity to ask additional questions. Each additional question will cost you momentum, but you have 7 momentum right now, but you have a cap of 6. So the 7th one is considered floating. You can spend it now and get some more information, or it will just disappear by the end of the questioning.
Okay. First question is, how long has this been here? How long does it? Can I estimate that it's been here based on the residue?
I'll accept that. It's been here about 3 weeks.
Okay. No other bioresidue detected other than the Tellurite.
There's some faint residue of various other races, humans, Ferengi, a Nausicaan, Orion, Tellurite, a couple Cardassians and Bajoran DNA in here. But
Okay.
it's predominantly the one specimen of Tellurite. So it seems like a Tellurite did most of the manhandling of this.
Probably made it even.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
a reasonable assumption.
Is this something where I could store the bio information and if I found the Tellurite, match it to him?
Yeah, you can have a log of the DNA and kind of match it to him.
Okay. All right, guys. I can't think of anything else that I want to ask about this. We know it's about 3 weeks that it's been here. I can't think of anything else to ask.
That's fine. You did a great job. Now all we gotta do is look around the village, but I doubt we can get in there without a problem because we stick out so hard.
This isn't something where I could track it based on that, like read where the.
No, not on a DNA scan.
Yeah.
You can scan out from a distance, like, hey, are there any Tellurite life forms within 5 kilometers of me? But to track a specific individual, you would have to basically get within touch distance of them to verify
Gotcha.
a DNA sample.
Okay.
Could I use my con skills to figure out where they came from and where they went back to?
Explain. Con skills how?
Can I look around the area and see how the box was placed, to the surrounding terrain to see if anything was like broken branches, other stuff like that?
Okay. Reason con, given the age of the trail and the general yuckiness of this planet, it's probably gonna be about difficulty 2.
Would combat tactics work as a focus?
I'll accept it at increased complication. So complication 2.
I look at the captain and say, Captain, why would someone set something up like this to essentially draw us in? They had to know we would come down for this this distress call.
Well, my guess is they just put this down as a constant message, just in case a Federation ship does come near and here. I think we're just the lucky ship.
And Maddox, you would know, based on the signal strength of this, you would almost have to be in orbit to detect this signal. It is not powerful enough to be read more than an AU out.
I'll use 2 momentum and give you a threat.
Okay. Two momentum and 1 tasty threat. Okay, you make that. You guys came from the south. Looks like there's a very reasonable trail going to the northeast. And indeed there's a scuff mark to the northeast where someone fell down a little bit ago.
So should we follow this trail? Oh, I think we should.
It is at this point that you guys hear scuffling of someone and walking up from the southern trail. Sounds like a squad of 4 people.
I don't like the word squad. That implies militant.
Let's hide.
Calder, insight security difficulty 1.
Both combat tactics work.
Yep. Gain a momentum, as indeed that seems to be some sort of perimeter security. AA guards are marching around. They're kind of idly chatting, but spread out a little bit. And to hide, control engineering, control or daring engineering, and difficulty, security. Hold on, let me just type this up. Daring. Difficulty 2. I am. Do. Control or daring security, difficulty 2, complication 2 from the threats band. One person can be the primary, everyone else assist.
I'll be the primary. I will spend 1 momentum to add a dice.
Okay.
When we help, do we have to roll, or is that?
You'll be rolling 1 dice using the relevant and attribute or discipline.
Okay.
So it's like a task roll, but just with 1 dice.
And we select a
complication of 2 for this.
Complication 2. Okay. And for focuses, I don't think I've got anything here, so.
And maybe I should have raised that higher. 2.
So that is 5 extra successes.
Yep. So you have 4 float. Any advantages you want to make really quick?
So, quick question, because I forgot to ask it before I rolled. Would deception work as a focus?
Deception would work as a focus, so your focus still applies. Oh, so you have 3 float. I can math eventually. You can spend 2 of that to make an advantage of some type of making a really good hiding spot, or having cover, or having good vantage point.
I would recommend a tactical advantage site where we can have, high ground against them or something along that lines.
Boulder, you
I
agree?
I have a different idea for a advantage.
Okay. What's your idea?
Like, after looking at him and doing some form of tailing, we have some form of advantage to enter the village without being noticed.
Okay. So, the advantage is being that you can kind of slip up behind them and walk to the village.
I mean, if that sounds good, because one of the things we have to do is check out this location.
Everyone else on the away team agree?
It's assuming they're going to go back to the village and not just stay on a perimeter for a while.
I mean, we still got the third one, and we could still spend one more to give ourselves say and a bit of hiding spot.
Okay, so 2 momentum for a hiding spot, and 2 momentum that these guys are going to be, that you can slip behind them and backtrack back to the village after they've patrolled an area.
Yes.
Okay. With that, luckily these guys are quite noisy and boisterous. You're able to quickly dive into the. You scramble up a hill and kind of duck down behind rocks and trees and stuff. Did you take the device with you?
I hope so.
Someone holding the device?
Yes,
Well,
Maddox still has it.
Maddox still has it. Excellent. As around the bend, and a squad of 4 Gnosticans, heavily armed, carrying the equivalent of disruptor rifles, just trudging through the underbrush, kicking rocks, chatting idly. And after a tense moment, one of them pauses, looks at the tree where you found the device, looks around. Hey, come on! We still have 3 clicks to go. And he goes back with the rest of his squad, and they slowly walk away.
Hmm.
That wasn't suspicious.
Also, my Gatling gun. I'm sorry, Dr. Vogue, but it's kind of poking your side since we're laying down.
Indeed,
okay.
this is bully and human an ensign is lying on top of a Gatling gun, and the butt of it is kind of pressing into your ribs, Dr. Bog.
Oh, nice.
But the security team has passed by, and what do you do next?
I think when they are in a tad bit further away, I think we'll start moving towards the village.
Very well. And you are making your way back to the village, being somewhat stealthy, but not as stealthy as before, because a security team has already walked by, and are fairly certain you're not going to see another one for a while. And back on the ship, new scene. So you go down a momentum when you change scenes. Elder and Antolek, you've been hiding out in an orbit, kind of in a blind spot of the sensor sweeps. The helms officer is occasionally making course adjustments as the sweeps kind of move through different areas, but so far you stayed hidden. Is there anything else you would like to do? It's been about 2 hours since the shuttle has launched, and there has not been any contact.
I would imagine the prudent thing would be to maintain communication silence unless directed to otherwise.
Commander Tolik, if you would scan the system real quick for any possible ships. Let's make sure no one's getting close or looking at us.
Very well, Captain.
Excellent. That is going to be just a standard sensor suite. So he's in science, difficulty 0, assisted by the ship's sensor science. That rolled a 19, so that's not a complication, just 0.
Oh yeah, the ship's complication range was increased earlier because of what Archer was trying.
But yeah, that's fine. I'll just call that a 0.
I reset it.
Alright, so 2 momentum off that. There was a heavy transport or vessel that came in about 45 minutes ago. It just swooped along the outside of the planet and went to the far side, and presumably docked and is either loading or unloading cargo. But there is also on the far range of our sensors approximately 3 warp signatures is coming in fast.
I'm gonna walk over to Tolek Station. Let's identify those incoming vessels.
Very well.
Okay, I will take a science question for the ID of those vessels.
Say that again.
Hey, take a momentum to answer the question about what kind of vessels they are.
Ah, very good. Yes.
3 Nausicaan and vessels, 2 destroyers, and 1 cruiser. They appear to be flying in formation.
Do they have like transponders going, saying who they are, or are they just flying without them?
They appear to be flying without transponders, which is illegal in Federation space.
Mr. Tulloch, can the station see us right now?
That is a no.
No. Negative, Captain. We are invisible.
Give me a single tight beam burst to the away team. And in code, I want to tell them that we are going into silent running, possible enemy vessels inbound, and to contact us once they've found something.
Aye, Captain.
And then I'll turn to the security station.
Okay.
Crewman Tavel, engage the cloak.
Hi, Captain. And we are activating in crewman Devel, so go down 1 and crew support. And the cloaking device is control security task difficulty 2 assisted by ship's engine security.
Oh, we might actually use Zager instead because he has shipboard tactical systems. Would that apply?
That would apply, yes.
Okay, so we'll use Zager instead.
Okay. Zager is now activated.
Roll.
I'm going to spend the momentum for that control engineering roll.
I don't think you can. The ship has its counts as it being assisted, so I think it would be just Zareg's goal. You'd be assisting.
No, he has a separate role.
Yeah, there's kind of two roles happening right now. Tolek, you can do this yourself, or you could activate engineering and crew support.
I'll do it myself.
Okay. And the ship. Alright. Gain that momentum back. And if you can just type out a quick text message in the Discord channel of what precisely you're saying to the away team.
Okay.
Something under 144 characters.
All right.
apparently
in this time we'd get a couple more characters anyway.
Yeah. Back that Starfleet contracted out their communication system to Twitter.
No, you can have more characters than that. I'm not exactly. It's not a hard character limit, but you're sending like a burst message. You're not sending the entire worth of Shakespeare in a tight beam.
I understood why you were doing it. I just had to make the joke.
Of course.
Take momentum for the cloak.
Right, 1 momentum for the cloak. And the ship's engine security. And that was base difficulty of 2, so 1, 2,